So when we're considering a case that might be appropriate for private judging, really the first thing I'm going to be looking at is any privacy concerns. Those can be an indicator right out of the gate that this is something that we don't necessarily want to have public pleadings in. That like if you've got a celebrity situation or just really private stuff that you want to keep really private, then a private judge is going to be able to do that. Again, none of the proceedings are going to be happening in open court, right? It's either going to be on Zoom or it's going to be in somebody's conference room. So privacy, I think, would be the number one indicator that someone might consider a private judging situation. We have control really over the process that's outlined in all of the various statutes in California. If you just go to regular old court, the county courthouse, and have things done there, you're stuck with their timeline on things. And because they are so busy, you often have to wait forever and ever and ever, and there's all kinds of delays for any number of reasons that issues sometimes remain unresolved. With a private judge, you can get very quick access to a decision from your bench officer pretty quickly, and you have the opportunity to to streamline things without too much muss or fuss. You just have a conference call with everybody, and you make some decisions about when things are going to be decided and how they're going to be decided. I mean, like instead of having a hearing, for instance, you could say, hey, why don't we just submit a couple of legal briefs on the issue, and you can just decide based on the briefs. Again, that's a very streamlined approach, and sometimes courts will do that, but usually that's after a few hearings have already happened, in open court. So there are lots of different ways that the bench officer can keep things, moving in a very time efficient way that you would not have in your arsenal if you were just in the regular county courthouse with everybody else and their brothers. If you have like for instance a move away situation, and there are some courts, I'm thinking of like Santa Clara and Alameda, big courts that have a pretty serious backlog on big like trial settings. But if you have an emergency issue, like for instance, hey, I just got a job in Alabama, I also have some family there, but the kids have lived in California for the last 10 years. I think it's going to be great to be able to move to Alabama. And the other side says, no way, the kids are staying here, not sending them to Alabama. In those larger counties, maybe that isn't even an issue that gets in front of a court for a year and a half, right? In that kind of setting. And then you've lost the job opportunity, or you've had to go to Alabama in this hypothetical and live there for a year and a half before knowing what's going to happen with the kids. And that's not great. So if you had an opportunity to have a private judge that said, hey, we can put this on a 90-day calendar and here's how everything is going to work, much better, much quicker resolution, but still it's going to be a thorough approach. You're still going to investigate and have all of the appropriate law that's supporting each position. You're just doing it in a way that's much faster.